Hey everybody, this is Samantha with Young Family Farmstead. Welcome back to our channel. We're so excited that you're here. Today we have something awesome happening. A really good friend of ours is coming over for dinner tonight and we're so excited to hang out with her. I am going to be making chicken curry masala and rice for dinner. It's kind of one of my favorite things to make. Actually, when I was in my 20s, spent 6 months total in India. So I actually had a grandmama in India teach me how to make chicken masala while I was there. And so it's kind of one of my favorite things to do. It just kind of takes me back to that time. And then obviously we're going to get to hang out with our friend Norma tonight, so that will be really good. I'm actually going to be talking to you guys about something that's pretty close to my heart today, but first we're going to get started with our chicken masala. Okay, you guys, you saw me cut up my tomatoes and my peppers and my onions and my garlic. Threw some olive oil in there, and then that is gonna bake for about 35 minutes at 350 degrees, and then we'll do our next step. But I wanted to take you out to the greenhouse, show you what's going on out there, and then we're gonna come in and talk about spearmint. You guys, it is foggy and rainy outside today. It is 82 degrees in the greenhouse. Oh, it feels nice. Wow. Let's see what's going on in here. All of my basils are starting to sprout. My sweet alyssum and my yarrow. I need to water that over there. Look at these greens, guys. Whew, there's a taco salad in my future. And my peppers and tomatoes. You guys are looking pretty happy. There's my eggplants. Whoa, you guys just took off. And this tray is just majestic. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna water a few things in here and then we're gonna get to chatting. So the greenhouse is on a little bit of a tilt, so I just turned those trays around so that the other end would hold a little bit of water. All right, let's go in the house. It already smells so good in here. I cannot wait to eat this curry. So last week Matt and I were talking and I kind of asked him, you know, how authentic, how vulnerable should we be on our YouTube channel? Because like some things are just close to home and are hard to share, to be really honest. And we both decided, you know, if we're going to invite people on this journey with us, then we want them to know the real us, and you know, we want to share the truth about our life. So I mentioned that I am growing spearmint tea this summer. I am going to be doing a tea garden. I've been doing the research of what I want to put in my tea garden this summer so that I can make homemade tea for the year. I think that's going to be so enjoyable. I love hot tea. I love any kind of tea, honestly. I mean, I'm from Alabama. I'm from the South, and so we like tea. But one of the things that I'm the most excited about growing in my tea garden is my spearmint leaves. I'm sure that some of you have probably noticed that we don't have any kiddos in our videos, and that's because Matt and I don't have children. We got married 4.5 years ago, and we have been trying to have kids, but we've been unsuccessful because I have PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the likelihood that you know somebody with PCOS is really, really high. The numbers that I saw last on the statistics for women with PCOS was 1 in 10. So if you know 10 women, the likelihood of one of them having PCOS is really high. Basically, there's a lot of problems that come with PCOS. The main one that people talk about the most is infertility and, trouble getting pregnant and staying pregnant and carrying a baby all the way through to birth. PCOS is an endocrine disorder, so that means that it affects your hormones. And one of the ways that it affects me is that I have too much testosterone and not enough estrogen. And so Spearmint is actually a testosterone blocker. So it's an androgen blocker, and it helps to regulate your hormones when you have PCOS. If you're a man, I want to put in a disclaimer here that you can drink spearmint tea, but I would not drink it in large quantities or very often because it is an androgen blocker, which means that if you drink it a lot, you will be bringing your testosterone levels down. I want to say right here that I am not a doctor, and this should in no way be construed as medical advice. You should always consult your doctor about any of the problems that you have, especially if you have symptoms of PCOS, you want to talk with them. For me, I try to take a few different medications. They prescribe birth control when you have PCOS to help with different things, and those things seem to just make my problems worse. Now, like I said, I'm not a doctor, and please always consult your physician about medical advice. For me, though, those things were not helping me, and they were making some of my problems a lot worse. And I just don't want to pump my body full of synthetic hormones. So I started doing some research about natural ways that I can help myself. And when I found spearmint tea, I was so excited. Actually, a friend of mine began drinking spearmint tea, and she was on the ketogenic diet. And those two things combined, she also has PCOS, and now she has a 1-year-old, and he's healthy and happy, and she's doing really well. So anyways, Matt and I have just kind of gotten to a place where, when it comes to children, we trust God. And if we're supposed to have kids, then He will make that happen. I'm going to be faithful and continue to pursue healing in any of the natural remedies that I possibly can. And if He gives us children, that's awesome. If He doesn't, then He's still good and He's still God. So that's kind of where we stand. I also do want to mention, because we'll probably talk about it at some point, Matt and I were foster parents, and we did pursue parenthood through that route, and the Lord really kind of closed the door on that for us. And that's a pretty vulnerable thing, and we will not be going into detail about that because obviously we can't. When you're a foster parent, you sign waivers talking about how you won't talk about certain things with the kiddos that are in your care, and a lot of that journey is confidential. It's difficult because you want to be able to share, but you can't. So we will share as much as we can in that aspect, but we're not going to go into a ton of detail, just because we want to honor the agreements that we made with the Department of Human Resources in our town. This is kind of a personal video, but I've just kind of decided that if it can help one person, then I want to share. And if our life doing this adventure can help one person or inspire one person, to grow their own food, or to grow their own herbs and tea garden, or, you know, to pursue different routes to their healing, then I want to do that. And I want to be willing to share that. So I also just want to say this: there are 4 different types of PCOS according to recent research. And so you may not have the same type of PCOS that I do. I really want to encourage you to do your research before you take anything. But for me, the spearmint tea really helps to block that extra testosterone and to help my hormones get back into balance. Here in a couple minutes, that stuff in the oven is going to be ready for the next step. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing with that. Normally, I put fresh ginger, like grated ginger, in with my tomatoes and my garlic and my peppers. I just forgot to get it when I went to the grocery store the other day. If you want to follow along, I'll show you the rest of the things that I do to make my chicken curry. And if you're interested, I will link the recipe down below. I've made a grave mistake. I rubbed my eye with my pepper hand, and now it is burning. Okay guys, we are gonna grab this out of the oven. We're gonna dump both trays into a big stock pot, and then we are going to use our emulsion blender to blend all of that up. At this point, I'm also gonna add any spices that I wanna add, and I'm gonna also add my coconut cream. Just 1 can of organic Thai coconut cream. I'm gonna be putting some curry powder, Himalayan sea salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and I'm gonna look up here and see if I can't find some ginger in my cabinet too, because that thing needs some ginger. You want to use your emulsion blender until everything is nice and smooth. I like to make my sauce super smooth, but then I like to go back in and add some bell peppers, some mushrooms. Sometimes I'll even add quartered zucchini and squash. And then I'm gonna be adding chicken to this meal as well. So I'm gonna take my chicken breast, I'm gonna cut them into little cubes. I'm gonna slice my mushrooms. I'm going to chop my bell peppers, and then I'm going to put all that together in a separate pan and bake that until it's fully cooked, and then I will add that to my sauce. Okay friends, that's gonna bake for about 45 minutes. We're gonna mix everything together, make some rice, and we're gonna eat that. You guys listen to the birds. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. I enjoyed getting to share my curry recipe with you and share about PCOS and spearmint tea. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to our channel. We hope you come back to see us. Until next time, stay fruitful.